Hey, it's May here. Did you see that article in the New York Times about Ellen DeGeneres facing a transition moment in her career? Yeah, she's considering quitting her daytime TV show, the one that she's run for 16 years. And the most interesting thing in the article is a quote from her brother that talks about his view that she is not trying to break out of a rut, but rather breaking out of a mold. And breaking out of a rut is something that's obvious that you want to do, right? Because you're unhappy, you're dissatisfied, you're probably bored. And the people around you probably want to help you do that because you're not making life fun for either yourself or anybody else. But breaking out of the mold is a lot trickier because you're probably doing really well. And you are probably enjoying what you're doing to some extent, but maybe you're being typecast, like the actor who's always typecast as the villain or always playing the best friend next door when they know they can be the main character. So if you're in one of those situations, it can feel positive in that you're doing well and yet have this nagging feeling that you're not getting to use all the best parts of you. And not only that, that maybe what you're doing doesn't allow you to be the person you know you can become. So it's harder to justify making a change, and the people around you might even have a vested interest in keeping you right where you are. So the question is, how do you break out of the mold? Well, here are 5 things that I recommend you consider. The first one is to get back in touch with who you are and who you really want to be. Especially focus on those areas that are below the waterline, the parts that don't quite show up in your everyday work yet. And you also want to tap into those parts that you really enjoy doing, but don't get to do a lot in your day-to-day work. The second thing is to find outlets for developing those other muscles and experimenting. And for Ellen, this could be something like returning to doing some stand-up while she's still running her show or starting a podcast. For you and me, maybe it's a side project where we get to do something creative, maybe write that book, or it could be a side project where we get to exercise our leadership skills in a different direction. The third thing is to build and strengthen your network beyond your current circle. Because whenever we're making change, when we're learning and growing, it's important to start hanging around with people that are different than the usual suspects. And that is what's going to help develop the kind of connections that we'll need in order to produce a smooth glide path into our future. Then the fourth thing is to prepare others so that it doesn't feel abrupt to them as you're going through this metamorphosis, especially your friends and family, your team members. You want them to land on their feet, and also others in your organization. You want to make sure you're not burning any bridges because remember, everything's going just fine. Then the fifth thing is you want to find buddies, and that means finding other people who have either gone through what you're going through now and can help and advise, or people that are going through the exact same experience as you are, and you can compare notes and brainstorm together. And these people will be very helpful to you to figure out what's really in your heart. And then once you figure that out, to help you stay the course, because there's going to be a lot of forces that will keep you right where you are. So once you've done all that and you feel ready to make the change, that's the time to make the transition and make the shift. So I'm curious, what kind of transitions have you made successfully and what's worked for you? In the meantime, I just want to recognize that each of us has to own our own careers. We have to manage ourselves through these transitions. And while we're doing that, though, the good news is we don't have to do it all alone. We do need help, and that's why I'm so excited to let you know that my team and I have been working hard for the last several months on putting together something that's going to really help you, whether you're going through a transition, that you've just gone through a transition and want to hit the ground running in your new situation, or just want to excel where you are. It's called Career Mastery Kickstart. It's going to start in January, and we'll be giving you more information about that. But I want you to be aware so that you can save those dates. So I'll see you in January for Career Mastery Kickstart. And in the meantime, if you're watching this from anywhere other than my blog, head on over to maybusch.com/blog. I look forward to welcoming you there. And in the meantime, be bold, play big, and spark joy for yourself and everyone around you.